Hi, I'm Chef Wendy Brodie with Art of Food, your culinary host for YourTown TV, AMP TV. And my guest today is Charlotte Muia. And she won't be called a chef. She wants to be a cook. Fattoria Muia. Anyway, a wonderful place for events and all kinds of things in Carmel Valley, and we'll elaborate more on it from the horse's mouth or the gardener herself. Welcome, Charlotte. Thank you so much for coming.
Well, thank you for asking me. I'm really enjoying it.
Explain what Fattoria Muia is.
Well, Fattoria in Italian means a little farm, 1 to 5 acres. And we have a little bit over an acre, so we qualify. And of course, Muia is my last name. So we decided to go with the Italian route and call it Fattoria Muia, like Mua's little farm.
And it takes a village, right? Your husband, your kids, it's a family
Everybody
affair.
is involved in our olive oil business. We started it probably about 15 years ago. And we bought the property in '98 and settled in and immediately put the trees in. They were just little babies, about the size of a chopstick.
And what, about 100 and some
I
odd
started
trees?
out with about 110, 115, and we cut it back to 87, which means each tree produces more and has more root system to grow in. So we get better production, which was a surprise to us, and more oil. And our harvest is every fall, October, November, depending on how ripe they get. And we have about 30, 35 people that volunteer to come, and we have like a 3-day party.
I might have to sign up for that. I've never made olive oil.
We need pickers. And we pick one day and then take it down early in the morning the next day to Templeton, Foxdale Farm. Yes. And she's our miller. You need a good miller. And she's very good with our oil. And she gets fabulous oil out of our olives. So I'm very happy with her.
And what are they, presses? What
Yes,
is the modern
it is
technology?
She can actually do 6 different loads at the same time for the tonnage going in. And she, it's weighed and then it's washed and then it goes through the crush and then a malaxator, which is a big screw in a tub and it slowly brings the oil out of the mash. The whole olive is mashed, and then it's separated, and then then the oil is extracted, and then it comes out like liquid gold. It's just beautiful, and it takes about 2.5 hours for that to happen.
Now, you have several different types of, or varieties of olive trees that you combine. Can you talk a little bit about
Well,
that?
when we started, first of all, we had the property and we didn't know what to do with it, but I wanted to do something different than I'd ever done before, so it just was, vines. So I looked into the wine business and called everybody and learned about canopy management and everything. And I thought, this is just too exhausting for me by myself. So one of my daughter's customers says, have your mother plant olive trees. It's a tree. What could possibly go wrong with a tree? I thought, this makes sense. So we immediately divorced that idea and married into the olive oil. So I launched myself into that and called everybody who was just starting out at the same time, clear up into Napa area, and called everybody up there that had been doing it for a couple of years, and joined the California Olive Oil Council. And we bought our trees. They were the Italian varieties. And that was all that was available at that time. Everything else was in quarantine. So that's what we planted. I wanted French Picheline, but nope, it had to be the Italian varieties. 2 years later, there was the big release of everything in quarantine.
Oh.
So I ended up putting in some French Picholine and also some Greek Koroneki. So that is our blend, and that's going to be our family recipe.
And what are the Italian, is it a mixture of?
Yes, Pendolino, Merino, Fattoria, Frantoio, excuse me. I can't remember the other ones.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, Coratina, that's another one. And they are a little bit stronger, the Italian varieties. The green olives produce the polyphenols that you need. And it also produces the heat. When you taste the oil, it's like picante in the back of the throat. And the polyphenols that you need are the anti-cancer.
Oh.
And it's also a little bit of preservative.
Yes.
Couldn't think of the word.
Yes.
And so we wanted that rather than the buttery side of oil. We preferred the stronger, more robust Italian. And but I didn't want it too robust. So the French Picholine calms that down. And the Greek Koroneki calms that down. So it's a very nice blend in the Mediterranean area.
Yeah, no, I've had tastes of it. And what do you think for help? Would your tip be to have a tablespoon?
2 tablespoons every morning and your life will be better.
Perfect, perfect. Now, with the different grades of olive oil and when it's being made, we've got the extra virgin, we've got the virgin, we've got the pure, and then
everything else.
Everything else, yes. What do you only get the extra virgin, or what do you do with anything else?
In the old days in Italy, it was either virgin or not. You either are or you're not.
Yes.
And with the American advertising, there came the categories. So there was extra virgin, then the virgin, and then the pure and everything else. And we try to get the highest quality, and that has to do with acid content. The lower the acid, the longer the shelf life and the more healthier properties are in that oil. And so we try to get ours at 0.25 or below. I am always stretching for 1.5, which I did attain one year. It was fabulous. And
is that in the hands of Mother Nature?
Yes, a lot of it, yes. And how you treat your fruit. As soon as you pick it, the sooner you can get it processed, the better. The longer you wait, the more problems there will develop because you've picked the fruit and there's a little opening there from when it was pulled off the tree, and it could start getting bacteria and little bugs and stuff. And so you try to avoid that and try to get it pressed as soon as you can. And so we go in, within 24 hours. 8 hours is best, but we can't.
They're a little far away.
Yes.
No breaking the speed limits.
No. So we try to, and we have always attained the extra virgin category. Olive oil only lasts 2 years shelf life. And that's in the best conditions without a lot of heat and a lot of light on it. That's why you bottle in dark bottles, or if you have a light bottle, clear see-through bottle, your label should wrap around or should be in a box to protect it from light. It's like wine.
Yes.
The light and heat is an enemy.
I was going to ask if you have any tips for prolonging as far as keeping it in a dark place versus in the kitchen window.
Next to your stove or on the shelf above the stove.
Yeah.
Just, in your kitchen in an area that's not, blasting heat out of the direct sunlight. It's fine. You don't have to put it in a bag or anything. It's fine. And it'll automatically decrease in the food value and the taste value after 2 years.
So you can still use it a little bit.
You can still use it it'll get rancid, which is the most common defect would be rancidity. And what happens with rancid oil, if you saute with it, as soon as it heats up to a certain degree, that taste of the rancidity disappears. It does not transfer into food.
Oh,
Yay.
oh, so that's
So you
good
can use it for sauteing. Yeah, like Greek French fries.
Oh,
A little bit of salt, a little bit of lemon juice. Yum.
oh, that sounds. I've never tried the lemon juice on
Yes.
French fries. In addition to olive oil, you also have balsamics and other gourmet goodies
Yes.
that you do. So tell us about
Well, my
the
brain
balsamic.
launched off into all these directions. With balsamic, I was fascinated by balsamic, and so I started buying in bulk and flavoring it. And my first flavor was apricot.
Ooh.
There was a woman I met in the village who has passed now, but she had the most beautiful apricot tree. And she said I could take whatever I wanted, and it was like heaven. So I started with the apricot flavored balsamic. And since then, any of the flavors I have is with real fruit that I cook down. I don't do oil injection. And it's been okay. There's been a couple failures.
Well,
but
that's how you get
otherwise
good at
it's good.
something,
I
yes.
know.
So talk us through the process of making your own vinegars and how you infuse.
Well, the
cooked down
vinegar
fruit.
is I'm working now more with white vinegar than dark vinegar. I have heard from customers that they don't like the look of a dark color on their lettuce, which I never even noticed. It didn't bother me, but apparently bothers them. So I transferred over to white vinegar, and I measure out. I do small batches. So I have so much vinegar, and I put in so much fruit, and I cook it down for anywhere from 1 to 3 hours, depending on what it is, and let it cool off a little bit, strain it, and then bottle it. So it's not messed
so
with.
they're cooked with the vinegar
Yes.
then.
Yeah. So raspberries, blackberries, any of that is right there. Peaches. I have one that's wholly hot peaches. It's clean peaches.
Ooh.
And I put some red pepper flakes in there, and it's a nice soft heat in the back of your throat. It's been a good seller.
And you also put up other things. I mean,
Yes, I started that. So, and I had up to 25 varieties of flavors and balsamics. Then I thought, I have to calm down and really sell what is the most popular. And then I went into mustards. People love mustards.
Oh, yes.
So I thought, okay, I could make this deli-style mustard. And then I bought some in bulk, and it was the exact same thing. So rather than messing up my commercial kitchen with this mess of, I buy it already done. And then I add things to it. The pickled onion chipotle has been a big seller. I pickle the onions one day, let it rest, then I add it to the mustard with the chipotle and finish it off.
Wow, I bet that's delicious.
Yeah. Then I have French curry, which is different. Some of the ingredients are smoked. So I add honey and nutmeg to that one. And that's been a very popular mustard. Yeah, so it's, your brain, once you start thinking about all the herbs and spices that are in the world today, there's just, you can do thousands of combinations. And I really like people to try different things that they've never tried before. So I started into Middle East spices. So that's been fun in mustard.
I've been to your place a couple of times, and what is the address on Carmel Valley Road?
144.
144 West.
Yeah.
But it is so recognizable because it's sort of a burgundy, rusty
yes, I call
red.
it cranberry red with a stripe.
It's fabulous. But then it's got like a stencil, fabulous border. You can't miss it. And
the
it's so...
painter that put that up, he put it up like freehand.
Oh, you're kidding.
And so it just blew my mind that somebody could do that. And we found that idea in Italy. So when he did it with the olive branches in there, I says, Jeff, you have to sign that. And he says, oh, I'm embarrassed. I says, no, you get on that ladder and you get up there and you sign that. It's a piece of art. And so he did. It's on the fireplace wall. He signed it, signed my house.
Oh, but it really is a perfect recognizable landmark
Yes.
besides your actual address. And you do wonderful events out there for organizations, for individuals. Please share. I know we played bocce ball. You've got all
Yes,
kinds
we have
of
bocce
things.
ball and the cornhole, and my husband put in a pizza oven, and then plus these other things like an outdoor kitchen that he works with too. And I have at least once a year with Women of Wine, and we have a ball. The women come out and, bring your own bottle.
Fabulous.
And we provide all the food, all the desserts. And like I said, I like to do Middle Eastern. So the side dishes, some of them are Moroccan, or they can be other things. They can be English, Southern, which I'm sort of into now a little bit. And it's just a surprise to be able to see people taste something totally different and have a smile on their face. And they're just happy, and that makes me happy.
It is. Well, your place is an indoor-outdoor. It's so festive. You've got Mother Nature with all your exotic, what was it, the finger limes you showed me?
Yes, I've got finger limes from the Australian rainforest, and I'd never seen them before. They're fascinating. And some yuzu lemon. I've got a lot of citrus, different kind of citrus. My apple tree is very different. It's a pink pearl.
I think you told me about that.
When you cut it crossways, like the equator, it's shocking pink. It's like bubble gum. So I have pink applesauce. And it's just different, and I like different things. And Carmel Valley is a perfect place to grow things. I've never grown anything in my life like I've been able to grow there and experiment and just enjoy. Really, it's just beautiful. I can't believe I'm living in paradise.
As we wind up, talk a little bit about your most wonderful partner and husband.
Oh, my husband.
We've left him out, but that's because I realize I better have him on as well. He has other talents.
My husband, Carl, we've been married 56 years this September.
Ah.
And 6 weeks after we got married, we moved to Seattle from Ohio. Had no idea where it was. We thought Alaska was right up on the state border. We didn't realize there was Canada in between, and because neither one of us had ever been anywhere. So it was all new. We were just wide-eyed and green as green could be. And we lived in New Orleans. We lived in Maryland. We lived in California 2 or 3 times, and I kept wanting to go back to California. But when we were in New Orleans, that's when he started really being interested in cooking because of all the different spices and the culture down there. We must have gained 10 pounds in the first week. We ate our way through the place. It was wonderful. We were there a year and a half. Our daughter Tina was born there. She's down here with Carmel Valley Coffee. And, we just have had a wonderful time in our life raising our girls. And they're interested in the olive grove, taking it over. And doing more. So it's wonderful. It's perfect.
Well, thank you, Charlotte Muia of Fattoria Muia Farms. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
We'll look forward to having your husband on. Anyway, I'm Wendy Brodie. Thank you for joining us. YourTown.